Hello, good evening, everyone. Mm, Hello, good evening, everyone. This is CA Harmeet Kaur from Tax Mantra, and today we are back again with our Advantage webinar series. And our today's topic is the new TDS and the TCS rules, and what businesses should do what businesses should know to avoid penalty. For those of you who are joining us today for the first time, Tax Mantra is a global tax and legal firm providing advisory tax and regulatory services in India, US, and Singapore. For more details, you can visit our website taxmantra.com. And if you have any queries, you can ping us in the chat box or post in the social media. At the end of the session, we will take up the queries. So let's begin our today's webinar. And our today's topic is the TDS and the TCS rules and the rates for assessment year 21-22. As we all are aware that COVID-19 pandemic has not only impacted people's physical and mental health, but it has also created a significant impact on the businesses to which businesses are and financial restriction. In the mid of this lockdown, Government of India came up with various relaxations, and one of this includes reductions in the TDS rates for the financial year 2021. So in this today's webinar, we will be covering all the TDS sections and what are the applicable rates for the financial year 2021. The first and foremost section is the section 192 and 192A. Section 192 describes this reduction of TDS on payment of salary, and the rate as applicable is and the TDS rate as applicable is the normal slab rate, which we are aware. So the TDS is deducted as per the normal slab rate on the payment of salary. The next section is section 192A. 192A states TDS on payment of accumulated balance of provident fund, which is taxable in the hands of the employee. In this case, there is a monetary limit, and the limit is 50,000, and TDS is deductible at the rate of 10%. So as of now, in these two sections, there has been no reduction in the TDS rates. So the old rates which are applicable, that is TDS will be on the salary, the TDS will be deducted as per the slab rate, whatever is the normal slab rate. And in section 192A, that is on payment of accumulated balance of provident fund, the TDS will be deducted at the rate of 10% and the monetary limit is 50,000. Then moving on, the next is section 193 and 194A. Section 193 states in TDS reduction on interest on securities. In this case, the monetary limit is 10,000. Interest on securities includes interest on debentures or securities or any security of central or state government and interest on any other security. So in this case, the limit is 10,000. Earlier, TDS was deducted at a rate of 10%, but now there has been a reduction in the TDS rate for this financial year starting from 14th May 2020, and the new rate which is applicable is 7.5%. Then moving on, next is section 194A. Section 194A states TDS on interest other than interest on securities. In this case, the monetary limit is 5,000. The TDS rate is 10%. And in case the payer is any bank or the cooperative societies engaged in the business of banking or the post office, the monetary limit is 40,000. And in case of senior citizens, starting from the financial year 18-19 onwards, the monetary limit has been increased, and the monetary limit is 50,000. And Accordingly, in this case also, there has been a reduction in the TDS rate, and which is 7.5% now instead of 10% for the financial year 2021. Then next is the section 194B and 194BB. In this case, section 194B states income by way of winning from lotteries, crossword puzzles, card games, and other games of any sort. In this case, the limit is 10,000. In case of section 194BB, income by way of winning from horse races, the monetary limit is 10,000 and TDS is deductible at the rate of 30%. In both of these sections, there has not been any reduction in the TDS rate. So whatever the old rate is there, the old rates are still applicable. Then next is section 194C and 194. TDS on payment to contractors or subcontractors. And in this case, as we all know that there is a limit of 30,000 per contract in a tranche, or rupees 1 lakh for aggregate amount during the financial year. In this case, the TDS rate which is applicable for the individuals or the HUF is 1%, but now the same has been reduced and it is 0.75%. And TDS deductible for other than individuals or HUF, it is 2%, and now the new rate is 1.5%. Section 194D covers insurance commission, and in this case, the monetary limit is 15,000. The TDS is deductible at the rate of 5%. And accordingly, there has been reduction in the rate, and the new rate which is applicable is 3.75%. Then next is section 194DA and 194EE. Section 194DA states payment in respect of life insurance policies with effect from 1/9/2019. The tax shall be deducted on the amount of income comprised in the insurance payout. And in this case, there is a monetary limit of 1 lakh. TDS is deductible at the rate of 5%, but now for this financial year, there has been a reduction in the rate, and the new rate which is applicable is 3.75%. Then moving on to section 194EE. Section 194EE states payment in respect of deposit under National Savings Scheme. The monetary limit is 2,500, and in this case, the TDS is deductible at the rate of 10%. And accordingly, as there has been a reduction in the TDS rates, the new rate applicable is 7.5%. The next sections which we are going to cover is section 194F and G. Section 194F states TDS on payment on account of repurchase of the units by mutual fund or unit trust of India equity linked savings scheme. In this case, the TDS is deductible at the rate of 20%, but now the new rates as prescribed for the financial year 2021, starting from 14th May 2020, there has been a reduction and the new rate applicable is 15%. Then moving forward, section 194G, commission, etc. on sale of lottery tickets. In case of this, there is a monetary limit of 15,000. TDS was deductible at the rate of 5%, but now the same will be deducted at 3.75%. Then section 194H and 194I. Section 194H, commission or brokerage. In this case, the monetary limit is 15,000 and TDS is deductible at the rate of 5%. Section 194I covers rent. In this case, the monetary limit is 2,40,000 rupees. in this case, in case of rent, the monetary limit is 2,40,000 rupees. For plant and machinery, the TDS, in case there is a letting out of plant and machinery, the TDS is deductible at the rate of 2%. And for land or building or furniture or fitting, the TDS is deductible at the rate of 10%. And now there has been a reduction in the rates. So for plant and machinery, the new TDS rate which is applicable is 1.5%. And for land or building or furniture or fitting, the new TDS rate which is applicable is 7.5%. Section 194IA and Section 194IB. Section 194IA covers payment on account of transfer of certain immovable property other than the agricultural land. And in this case, the buyer needs to deduct TDS. And the monetary limit in this case is that consideration should be less than 50 lakh rupees. TDS in this case is deducted at the rate of 1%. So, but for as of now, the applicable rate is 0.75%. In case of Section 194 IB, Section 194 IB is payment of rent by individual or HUF who are not liable to tax audit. So in this case, the rent, the monetary limit for the rent is, it should not rent for the month or part of the month if it exceeds rupees 50,000 rupees. This provision came into effect from 1st June 2017. And in this case, the TDS is deductible at the rate of 5%. The new rate which is applicable is 3.75%. Then moving forward, next is Section 194J. As we all know, Section 194J covers TDS in respect of payments for fees for technical services, professional services, or royalty. And the monetary limit in this case is 30,000 per annum. So in this case, the monetary limit is 30,000 per annum. In case of fees for technical services, in case of fees for technical services, which is not being a professional royalty and where such royalty is in the nature of consideration for sale, distribution, or exhibition of cinematographic film, the TDS to be deducted at the rate of 2%. As we all know that in case of fees for technical services in the recent budget, the rates, the previous rate was 10%, but now the same was reduced. And in case of fees for technical services, it is 2%. But now due to COVID-19, there has been a further reductions in all the rates. So as of now, there has been a reduction in 20%. 25% reduction in the rate, and the new rate which is applicable is 1.5%. Then next is the cases wherein the payee is engaged in the business of operation of call center only. In that case, the TDS rate is 2% and the new rate which is applicable is 1.5%. In case in case of professional royalty, where such royalty is in the nature of consideration for sale, distribution, or exhibition of cinematographic films, the TDS rate which is applicable is 10%, and the new rate which is applicable is 7.5%. And in case of any other professional services, the TDS has to be deducted at the rate of 10%. But now, as of now, there has been a reduction in the rate, so it is 7.5%. And in case the payee fails to furnish the PAN, the TDS has to be deducted at the rate of 20%. The next is Section 194M. Section Section 194M covers payment of commission, brokerage, contractual fee, professional fee to a resident person by an individual or a HUF who are not liable to tax, who are not liable to deduct TDS under Section 194C, H or J. In this case, the tax has to be deducted when the aggregate of the sum credited or paid during a financial year exceeds rupees 50 lakhs. This section came into effect with from 1st September 2019, and in this case the TDS rate is 5%, and as of now there has been a reduction in the rate, so the new applicable TDS rate is 3.75%. Then section 194N. Section 194N is divided into two parts, wherein the first is wherein the SSC has filed the return of income for all the 3 assessment years relevant to the 3 previous year, and the cash withdrawals exceeds 1 crore rupees. In this case, the applicable rate of TDS is 2%. So, and the next section is wherein the SSC has not filed the return of income for all of the 3 assessment years relevant to the 3 previous years, and the cash withdrawals are from 20 lakhs to 1 crores, then in that case the TDS rate is 2%. And in case if the cash withdrawals exceed 1 crore rupees, the TDS rate is 2% till 30th June, and with effect from 1st July 2020, the TDS rate is 5%. So as of now, in this section, there has been no reduction in the TDS rates. The TDS rates continue to apply as it's mentioned in the Act. The next is section 194O. Section 194O. This is applicable for the e-commerce operator for sale of goods or provision of services facilitated by it through its digital or electronic facility or platform. In this case, if the e-commerce participant does not furnish PAN or Aadhaar to the e-commerce operators, TDS shall be deducted at the rate of 5%, and this was inserted in Finance Act 2020, and this section is applicable with effect from 1st October 2020. The applicable rate of TDS is 1%, and in the exception in this case is the individual or HUF whose sale does not exceed rupees 5 lakhs in the previous year, then there is no need to deduct TDS. So there is a limit which states that a limit of rupees 5 lakhs rupees. Then next is section 195. The next is section 195, payment of any other sum to a non-resident. This section is applicable to applicable in respect of any payments made to a non-resident or a foreign company. In this case, payments which are covered under section 195 are any interest or any other sum chargeable under the provisions of this act. In exceptions to this section are like if any salary is being paid, then the same is not covered. If any dividend on which DDT has been paid, then the same is not covered. Interest from infrastructure debt fund, interest on securities, interest on approved foreign currency loans obtained by the Indian company. So these are the 5 exceptions to the payments which are not covered under section 195. And the TDS has to be deducted at the time of the credit or the payment, whichever is earlier. The only exception in this case is that in case of interest payable by the government or public sector bank or public financial institution in respect of notified mutual funds, the tax has to be deducted at the time of payment. And the applicable, what will be the applicable TDS rates in section 195? The whatever is the relevant rate in force as per chapter 17B, the same rates continues to. And in case if the payee does not have any valid PAN, then the TDS rate as per rate prescribed under chapter 17B or 20%, whichever is higher, will apply. And while calculating TDS under this section, we also need to keep in mind the provisions of double taxation avoidance agreements, for the relevant country, which India has with many countries. So we have to also keep in mind the provisions of DTAA while checking the applicability of TDS under section 195. And in case if the payee fulfills all the conditions prescribed in the DTAA, then the rates of DTAA will apply. Next is the tax collected at source. So as we all are aware that TCS in case of TCS, the seller needs to collect the tax from the buyer while at the time of the sale, and accordingly pay the same to the credit of the central government. So TCS is applicable on the following items, and the TCS rates have been changed, except in case of sale of alcoholic liquor for human consumption. There has been no reduction in the TCS rates. Other than that, there has been a reduction, 25% reduction in every case. In case of sale of tendu leaves, timber obtained under a forest lease or obtained by any other mode other than a forest lease, there has been reductions in the TCS rates. In case of scrap, earlier it was 1%, but now it is 0.75%. In case of minerals being coal or lignite or iron ore, it was 1%, and now the TCS rate applicable is from 14th May 2020, it's 0.75%. And these rates are applicable only for the financial year 2021. Starting from 14th May 2020, these rates are applicable only for the financial year 2021. Then in case of grant of lease or license of the parking lot, the TCS rate was 2%, but now it is 1.5%. And in case of toll plaza, it was 2%, and now it's 1.5%. And in case of mining and quarrying, other than mining and quarrying of mineral oil, petroleum and natural gas, it was 2%. Earlier it was 2%, and now it's 1.5%. And in case of motor vehicle of the value exceeding rupees 10 lakhs, in that case, the applicable TCS rate was 1%, but now it's 0.75%. Then interest under section 201A. If there is any non-deduction of TDS or TCS, then 1% per month, then interest will be applicable at the rate of 1% per month or part of the month from the date on which such tax was deductible to the date on which such tax was deducted. So if you do not deduct TDS or TCS, then you will be liable to pay 1% per month interest from the date on which such tax was deductible to the date on which such tax was actually deducted. And in case if you have deducted TDS but not paid on or before the due date, then in that case, 1.5% per month or part of the month interest will be applicable from the date was deducted, date on which such tax is actually paid. So in this case, the interest is, in case of TDS or TCS, the interest is divided into two sections. First is for non-deduction of TDS or TCS, and for the and the other is wherein the TDS has been deducted but not being paid. For non-deduction, there is 1% per month interest for per month or part of the month, and for non-payment for non-payment of the TDS, there is 1.5% per month or part of the month interest levied. The next is penalty. In case if you are not able to file your TDS returns on time, then there is a late filing fee, which is 200 per day, and that will continue till the day you do not file your TDS returns. However, the penalty should not exceed the amount of TDS for which the statement was required to be filed. Then penalty, there is an additional penalty which is under section 271H. The assessing officer may direct a person who fails to file the statement of TDS within the due date, and in this case the minimum penalty is 10,000 rupees, which may be extended to rupees 1 lakh. And this penalty is in addition to the late filing fees prescribed under section 234E. And this section also covers the cases of incorrect filing of TDS returns. So in case if you fail to file your TDS returns, then there is a penalty of 200 per day. And however, this penalty shall not exceed the TDS amount, shall not exceed the amount of TDS for which the statement was required to be filed. And there can also be an additional penalty levied, which in which the minimum penalty is 10,000 and which may extend to rupees 1 lakh. The other important point which we need to keep in mind is that penalty under section 271H will not be levied if the tax has been deducted or collected and is paid to the credit of the central government, and late filing fees and interest is paid to the credit of the government, and the return is filed before the expiry of a period of 1 year from the due date specified in this behalf. So the additional penalty which we were talking about, that is under section 271H, will not be levied if these conditions are satisfied. That is, the tax is collected or deducted at source, is paid to the credit of the government, and the late filing fees and interest, if any, is paid to the credit of the government, and the TDS returns have been filed before the expiry of the period of 1 year from the due date specified in this behalf. So that's all for today. If you have any queries, so there is a query is it okay if I deduct TDS at the rate of 10% instead of 7.5% and the vendor is agreeable for this? Yes, you can deduct TDS at the rate of 10%. So and if your vendor is agreeing on this, so there is no issues. There is one more question. If the vendor dates a bill in June, but delivers to us in July and we credit him in July, is the TDS payable with the TDS of June or July? So if we go as per the if the vendor dates of, so if in this case, like if the vendor dates a bill in June but delivers to us in July and we credit him in July, is the TDS payable with the TDS of June or July? So in this case, like if we go as per the rules, the TDS rules state that the tax shall be deducted at the time of payment or credit, whichever is earlier. So TDS rules itself says that whenever, like if there is a, so the tax has to be deducted, uh, tax has to be deducted at the time of the payment or credit, whichever is earlier. So in this case, hello. So the tax, so if we go as I said that if we go as per the TDS rules, the tax has to be deducted in the month of June itself, like whenever the vendor raises the bill at the time of payment or credit, whichever is earlier. Any other query? So that's all for today. Like if you have any queries, you can visit our website and message us, and you can also email us at info@taxmantra.com or WhatsApp us at 92300333070.